Howdy everyone, my name is Stained Texas, though you could just call me Texas. This is going to be my very first YouTube video and Let's Play. Today we're going to be playing the game of Hedonism, Incest, and Ruthless Conquest, Crusader Kings 3. Now, I'm not the best at Paradox games. Frankly, I've always been a bit too impatient to engage in the nuances of these particular titles. However, I hope that you can forgive me my trespasses against, well, proficiency, being a good gamer, I guess. We can try and enjoy this game together. What say you? Today, we're going to try and play as one of the earlier rulers in the 867 start. And as I feel this game is more about, basically, it's more involved in the role-playing aspect of strategy games than other Paradox titles have been. I would personally prefer to play this as a bit of a, as a bit more of a way to explore the insanity of monarchies, as it were, particularly the European variety. Now, we have here the sundering of the former Carolingian Empire, with the Kingdom of Italy, West Francia, Lotharingia, and East Francia. Gavelkind is an interesting form of succession, though it probably did prevent a few siblings from murdering each other. It did not prevent them from going to war over lands that they believed to be rightfully their own. So, solving one problem by creating another. Now, between these particular relations, I have it in mind to play as the one with perhaps the most unstable and precarious location among them, which would be Lotharingia. Now, Lotharingia will and almost inevitably get swallowed up by its neighbors in history, and barely, I don't even know, a few decades from now. And the reason for that is fairly simple. You see, and we are going to play this on Iron Man because consequences are fun in this game. You see, this poor man, King Lothar II, had a bit of an issue where he didn't like his wife. It was a political marriage, it was an arranged marriage, and they hated each other, and they just wouldn't have sex. Even more importantly, this guy did have a person he was far more interested in. This lady right here, Waldarda, who was his not-so-secret lover. And, suffice to say, there was, many children spawned from their particular infidelities. However, the various nobles of the land refused to acknowledge them as the rightful heirs to Lotharingia, and so when he died, the title passed on to one of the many other Carolingians that still existed. Now, seeing as how we're here to fix history and just be better, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to murder this lady. Because the only proper way to divorce someone in the 800s is to kill them. Is it a particularly proper thing to do? No, not really. But it's what has to be done in this, I'm afraid. So, we're gonna go here. We're gonna see what we can do. It looks like our chance of success is actually already quite high, so I don't think we'll actually even need to invite anyone to the plot. And when she dies, we're going to marry our true love, who will be forever in our embrace, and we shall have many actual legitimate children who will actually be able to inherit the throne. We also have another issue. You see, up here in the north, these are all Dutchmen and Franconians. And, I'm French. And if you know anything about history, the Dutch hate the French. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but it's true. And they're probably all going to rebel against me at the first opportunity. Now, I need to make sure that I have the manpower and the alliances to maintain my own rule over Lotharingia. Not to mention, literally everyone else is stronger than me at the start of the game. So West Francia, East Francia, and Italy all can kick my ass in a war. Maybe not Italy, but frankly speaking, they have really good defensive terrain, and I am not a good commander. So I will get my ass kicked. Now, good old Ludwig here, if you've played this game, you know very well that his son is going to rebel soon, becoming the king of Bavaria soon enough. And East Francia is going to have some problems. West Francia, on the other hand, is not going to have problems. They're probably going to be quite stable for the foreseeable future. Now, this game is known for its so-called border gore. In other words, there will be plenty of odd and very ahistorical borders going on. If you can forgive the game its trespasses against history, I think you'll find you can have some pretty fun stuff going on. Most people don't actually like to play the 8-6-7 start because of that, but frankly, I want to reforge the Holy Roman Empire, and I want to do it by playing in such a way as to make things a lot more fun for me and a lot less tedious for you. So, first things first, we are going to create a few man-at-arm regiments, or maybe just one because they're pretty darn expensive. However, some light footmen certainly will not go remiss, and some bowmen will be excellent as well. And with these two on my side, we will probably have a very strong early 2 picks, as they can defend against most of as they have really good advantages against the troops that the AIs tend to pick. Like the AI, I notice a lot of times goes for heavy infantry, heavy footmen, and light footmen get a very powerful advantage over heavy footmen. And bowmen get a very powerful advantage over light footmen. So we have our 2 bases covered there. In the future, I might go for cavalry for the ability to run down the troops as they escape. And, yeah. But for now, I think it's time for us to get started. Maybe, before we go particularly far, I might also considering murdering King Louis the Younger, because as it so happens, with a few murders, I can actually take control of the Kingdom of Italy, because we are brothers. And so if I murder his heirs, guess what happens? I become the King of Italy. We also might considering just trying to take Italy by force, and to do that, we're going to need a bigger army. Which for me means we should ally with one of my other brothers. And since France is going to be more powerful in the future, allying with France seems like it's going to be the better option. So we're going to arrange a marriage between one of my, maybe my bastard child. Will this actually make a marriage? Yes, it will. It will, in fact, produce a marriage. Even though she is my bastard child, apparently that's going to be enough to give a stable alliance. And with that, we have an alliance. Now, obviously, we need to wait for a bit to allow the queen to be murdered. Oh, Oh wow, she's actually barren. So in order to reenact history, they've artificially made it so that she can't even have kids at all. Which is kind of mean, because that's not actually what happened. What actually happened is that they hated each other. Maybe something that needs to happen in this game is that you get fertility bonuses and decreases for how much the individual characters like each other or hate each other, like based on their opinion, rather than more of an arbitrary trait system. Because, frankly speaking, the best way to not have kids is to not have sex. So, if you hate each other, that might do it. Let's see here. Visiting the local merchant, a merchant from a faraway land catches my attention. Come closer, my lord. Marvel at treasures never seen before in these lands. Had to watch my back to get these beauties out, I did, never sleeping with both eyes closed. This merchant might have more to give me than marvels from afar, I slyly think to myself. Now, King Lothar is cynical, temperate, and calm, which means he's unlikely to splurge too much on wealth, and he's also unlikely to lose his temper, which is where we get a stress increase here, because that goes against both calm and temperate, so we are definitely probably not going to do that. But we also don't have enough gold to actually pay for this, and since we are temperate, we're definitely not going to go into debt. We are, however, going to try and do a diplomacy outcome, and we are going to fail. Probably. We're going to try. Nope, we failed. That's fine. That's totally fine. It's not a problem. Let's see. We're going to continue onward. We're making fairly reasonable income, I dare say. Probably not enough to really match up with my surrounding economies, which means I need to consider some conquests. I also need to look at factions. We have an independence faction. We need to consider, basically, we may want to even consider triggering this early, since we have a very strong ally in West Francia. He himself has plenty of his own allies, though they are lower titles in his own realm, so they can't aid him in war, which is sort of a waste of an alliance. But if I can get the independence faction to fire early... Now, you need to forgive me, I just am really bad at hotkeys. So if I'm using my mouse for everything, please don't get annoyed. Or if you do get annoyed, let me know, and if it's really that bad, I'll try and learn for the future. Now, we have plenty of, especially Dutch, as I suspected. And it looks like down here we have this lovely fella. Now, we might be able to sway him. His big thing is that he wants to see on the council. Oh. Well, would you look at this? There's something odd about my agent. I can't quite put a finger on it. Perhaps it is my imagination running amok, but nevertheless, there is an ominous feeling that keeps me up at night. Well, I have a really, really good chance of passing this, so I'm gonna do that. What? Hold on. Did I just discover my own scheme? I discovered my own scheme? What? That's not fair. That's not how this game is supposed to work. I can imprison you. That's just weird. I don't really know how to deal with that. Oh dear. I might not be able to murder my wife. But she is pregnant. Now, how the actual hell did that happen? It should be impossible. Like, she has really low fertility. So, I don't know how she's pregnant. Okay, well, apparently, I guess 50% is still 50%, so apparently she is totally pregnant, and we are totally going to have a kid. Which means I'm going to have an heir. Is this one of the people who's planning on rebelling against me? Yes. So maybe I might want to schmooze with him. Schmoozing. It's important. And you know what? What we're going to do is we're going to cancel this plot. Because if it's discovered, I have such a low chance of pulling it off. There's very little point. Now, my child. What will your name be? I'm terrible with names, so we're going to randomize it. Engelbert. Oh yes, the great King Engelbert. You shall grow strong and wise and powerful. Yes. Yes, you will. Oh, and here we are, discussing many a perhaps modern philosophical treatise written by one of the monks, perhaps in Spain. Well, what will be Spain, so it'd be more Hispania. Oh, I'm sure they have many an interesting thing. And obviously, as the, I guess, passably literate king that I am, I'm actually probably okay at discussing these things, but apparently I dwarf this person in intellect, because he's just smoozing up to me, and frankly, he might actually have a chance to not be killed in the upcoming purges. And wouldn't that be great? Except that he is ambitious, so that's why he's definitely planning a revolt. One of our counts has decided to throw up on his king. Frankly speaking, this is really quite disgusting. But King Lothar is a calm and temperate man. And he definitely would be, perhaps, well, we seem to have some conflicting options here, my viewers. You see, we have one where he gets angry, which does go against him being calm, though it doesn't it doesn't appear in the form of stress, but I definitely interpret it as being kind of against his particular personality. And we have another one here that shows him being angry, that's against his temperate, but it does show him maintaining his cool, but he is also cynical. And maybe the ruination of his clothes, he's gonna have to buy new ones, and he's just like, oh my god, the vomit will not stain out of these new fancy clothes that I just bought, or just had my local manservant go down to the market square and spend all day hiring some sort of really weird peasant weaver to spend literally weeks breaking his back, pricking his fingers, wearing them down to the bone in order to make the finest dress he's ever made. And now it's been vomited all over. And that poor loomer, well, his fingers are already bones. We're going to have to go and probably go to war and find another loomer. Because Lord knows we need more cloth weavers. We need to go and find more workers to produce my fine clothing. Because of you, Count Meganhard. How dare you? How dare you? Now, frankly, these fools, these miscreants, are annoying to me. And I'm wondering if I should actively try to put them down. However, before that, it might be wise to try and prosecute a war. I have my claims. I have power. And I have allies. And I have an heir. Which is definitely not supposed to happen very often with King Lothar, but I have one anyways, because fuck this game and its rules. Now, What say we go and attack my loathsome and newly wounded brother? His weakness shall be exploited by the men of Lotharingia. We shall become the Middle Kingdom. Basically, we're gonna be the king. Have you read Berserk? Yes, Berserk. We're gonna be the Middle Kingdom. And, I'm not gonna go into an alliance with you, because I'm gonna kill you. It's funny. It's funny he thinks he's gonna win. Yeah. Okay, well, we are gonna die now. Let us go to war. I'm gonna spend a lot of my renown to do this, because that's what it takes to call someone that powerful into war. That's fine. I'm gonna get all of Italy as my vassal, and that's good with me. Yeah, offensive wars can be pretty expensive in this game. It's to prevent you from just getting the most powerful ally in the game and just spamming wars. It's a good system. It keeps us from basically gaming the AI, making it less fun by cheating, being a bunch of cheats. Filthy cheaters. Now, this game's combat system is rough. I hate it. I barely understand it. But one thing I definitely need to put in place is our best commander, and we have two options to choose from. One that gives us less of our own casualties, and one that gives more enemy casualties. And we do outnumber the enemy by 100. Not including our allies' armies. So we may want to just make the decision based off of who has the best commander advantage. And that seems to me to be Count Eberhard, who will perhaps lead us to victory. Perhaps. They are going to siege a town, which is fine by me. I definitely am happy to hammer them against the walls with my military might. Now, Italian scum, who is actually French because the Carolingian dynasty is technically French, but they're ruling over the Italians. Do I want to stay? I probably do. My allies are coming to meet me. I could probably try and maybe trick them into giving me a defensive battle in the mountain by heading towards their capital, maybe? Or it looks like they're going to try and attack this army here, in which case I want to shadow them. Try and anticipate where they go. Oh. What, am I spreading rumors? I don't really want to destabilize the court even more than it already is. So, I think some spies will probably be enough to keep this particular ball rolling, keep me safe. A good advantage to have. Oh, what loathsome creatures that skulk and skitter in the shadows. We rule them because they are too cowardly and too much want for petty ambition and shallow wealth for to be trustworthy in any way, really. So we must rule them because they cannot rule themselves. At least that's the excuse that I'm using. Oh. My goodness. Some rapscallion, some child, has stoned me in the head. Is it a stone or... Oh, it's a snowball. That's not really a stone. Oh my goodness. It's also my daughter. Which means, okay. So, we can either be very, very nice, and get them, and make them happy. We can either expend some of our renown, our prestige, in order to pretend to lose the fight and make them like me more. Or we can try to battle them in a snowball fight. Alas, the calm and temperate personality of our king here would probably mean that he might allow his kid to get a good shot in. So we're going to expend some prestige here to play dead for our child. And let the love between us grow, so that our dynasty will have a stronger and more impactful future. I will teach them the proper ways of the lady, even though she is a bastard, and she will spread my bloodline, even though she is indeed a bastard and doesn't recognize as one of my actual legal children. So, you know. Am I depressed? Am I going to be depressed soon? Oh, that's just sad. I'm depressed too much in real life. I don't need this shit in fake life. I don't need to be depressed. I don't need to be depressed in a life that isn't real. That's not how this is supposed to work. I play games to escape depression. Oh. That's just wrong, man. That's just wrong. I notice on my end the music is cutting in and out intermittently in very strange places, and only when events pop up. So I'm not entirely sure what the problem is, but I'm going to keep chugging along and pretend that I have this under control. But I really, really, truly do not have this under control. I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm going to pretend that I do. However, in the meantime, we're going to have to try and rescue our keep here. Our allies are not helping us, but we do have the advantage, so we're getting more damage than they are. Why does it say I have no men in arms? Is it because all my men in arms are... I feel like a moron. I left my men in arms behind. But my allies are coming to reinforce, so we will have victory. And if I lose, I will be avenged. And here we go. It's coming in. It's going to be really mean. Oh! Whew. So it ends. The poor fools. They failed their siege. Really, it's their fault for thinking that they could actually beat me in a straight-up fight. I will get there before them, which means I'm going to be defending in the mountains, and I do like that. They're locked in, which means they cannot stop me. Or at least they cannot change course. Perhaps that's not quite they cannot stop me, and more they cannot change course. Which means that we have a massive terrain advantage, and that's just going to be us mowing them down. Ah, the fools. They moved to defend their capital, and for their haste, they meet death at the end of my sword. Truly, the folly of man is never so pronounced as this. I find you lacking, Lotharingian scum. Wait, I'm Lotharingia. Shoot! Shoot, I'm cursing myself! Damn my impetuous tongue! In my impatience, I hath ruined my own dignity. What a sad day this is. Wait, are you at war with someone else? Oh, did Brittany have a rebellion and you're allies with them? Oh no, they've left me behind. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. Well, on the bright side, we haven't taken too many casualties. On the downside, this faction is only growing stronger. So, mayhap I remove one of my more tempestuous opponents, or give them a seat on my council. Because that seems like that's how that should work. You shall be a better man for your loyalty. We're gonna sway him. We're gonna use our schemes to make him like us more. That sounds like something I want to do. They're gonna take back some of their castles, and I'm not sure there's much I can do about that at the moment. My allies are sending some reinforcements, especially since they've wrapped up that rebellion in Brittany, and maybe they'll come down and they'll defend some of my takings here. That'd be swell. That'd be lovely. We're gonna take this barony here, and maybe come around and try and relieve this fortress. Wouldn't that be nice? What? 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 Why did I torture my lover? That's, You've become evil. Yes, come down here to the basement, Waldara. I offer her my sincere thanks as she stares angrily at me through the haze of alchemy. It was not easy to find someone to volunteer to test my collection of substances. For her, it has been an evening of pain, burning sensations, and occasional unconsciousness. It has been most enlightening, my dear, most enlightening. I truly appreciate your dedication to my cause, to my scholarship. You make my kingdom better by being in it, my dear. I speak truly, and with all my love. I know that we will be stronger because I poisoned you against your consent. It's like he just took his freaking soulmate and was like, "Hey, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna experiment with drugs on her. Why? I'm king. That's just what we do. Now I get a perk now, and because apparently King Lothar is used to being a bit of a sneaky seductor. Definitely gonna keep going down this tree because maybe King Lothar wants to have more bastards. Who knows? Maybe his soulmate isn't good enough for him anymore. That's a sad thing. It's a really sad thing. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. What else? What's my family like? Maybe something I can try is to help quell the rebellious attitudes of the North. I might try and find agents, willing agents within my house, like my cousin here, who I might attempt to seduce. It is impossible because she loves her husband, and she doesn't like me very much. So that doesn't make things very easy. On the other hand, this person is not married. Apparently my child is a pensive sort. He likes to spend more of his time thinking than doing, and I won't blame him for this. But I hope he has in mind to put his thoughts to action every once in a while, ere the loom of his scheme never meets public eye. Poor creature might find himself unable to make decisions. He curls himself up too far in a book. Yes, I think it is important that I maintain an attempt to make these people like me more. So they won't rebel against me, because that's getting closer and closer to happening. What, now we're friends? This is weird. Yeah, at this point, I'm just gonna break up with you. Like... My lady... I'm no longer in love with you. And frankly, because I'm king, the way I see it is, since I don't want you anymore, no one should want you anymore. Okay, so that's actually not possible, which is amusing. She still likes me even though I experimented on her. Do I want to break up with her? Well, do I still like her is the question. Oh god, I think I do, actually. Well, that's boring. Okay, well, I'm just gonna ignore that then. What to see here? I say we take our men and we crush this army. I'm gonna have you in here. War is so much micromanagement, really. It's terrible, yes, but it's also tedious. I mean, the lives of the men at the front, they're suffering. It's nothing compared to how much work it takes just to organize it all. Ugh. They complain about being slaughtered en masse, and here I am trying to make sure they can actually get to the battlefield on time. It's so trying. And they don't ever appreciate it, you know? They don't ever appreciate the work of their king, who does all this for them, so they can get all the glory fighting in my name, and they always just complain. Is it not just a sign of ungratefulness? Really? It does make you wonder if that's how kings actually think. Like, how dare they complain about going to war? They probably do think that. They are kings for a reason. I suppose they have to rationalize their abuses of office somehow, right? Oh, and it's won again, though I was not worried. I'm not gonna lie, that looked like it was gonna be pretty easy. I have no supplies, mind you, so we are starving to death, but it's gonna take too long to march back up, and... Oh, here we go. Apparently, the lustful heart of King Lothar is wandering anew, off to find more fertile pastures, greener greens, younger women, probably. He's a king. Now, I picture myself as something new. And now we go through a collection of... I don't know how you get these portraits. Like, do you just go and, summon me portraits of all the fair maidens in the land, and married women who... Yeah, married women. Who I can potentially seduce. And she's a sheik from a land that is not Europe. So that is not an option. And I don't mean to be rude, but it's just not going to happen. Another married woman who is deceitful and just, and I have no idea how much... there's no point to even trying. Hey, at least she's Catholic. She's chaste. So, yeah, that's yeah. It's just really going after all the hard ones. Hard to get... You're just going after really hard get ones, huh? Wow, jeez. Alright. Okay, yeah. A frickin' Lithuanian. How are you even gonna meet these women? How? They live on the other side of the continent. How are you gonna... Whatever. Come on. Come on, game. Really? How do you keep finding these people? Oh, well, again, at least she's Christian. And that she is Irish, so she's way up here. At least it's possible, I guess. So we're gonna try. Oh, Greek lady. Well, you know, the Greeks have their own charm, I suppose. And she's over here. I'm not even sure she's in my Diplo range. Well, we'll try it. Again, not a Christian. I need a good she's further away than I think my Diplo. That's just not gonna happen. Come on. She's a bastard, so you know. At least we have something in common with. At least she has something in common with my children. Brave Sergia. Actually, our personalities align fairly well. And she is an intrigue. She is a woman of intrigue herself. But let's try... I don't know. Your dimples are the rock I cling to in stormy seas. I wish only to be by your side. That I may know if your prowess carries off the battlefield. Please be the Helen to my Paris. Signed, Duchess Sergia of Anacleon, of Anatolikon. So she's gonna kidnap me? Is that what this is? Is she gonna come to me and kidnap me and take me off to Troy? I mean, she's close to where Troy is supposed to be. Troy is apparently supposed to be right about there. Right in this region, apparently. But, I'm not sure she's gonna have a good time. You know what? We're gonna try. I'm secretly her lover, which means that at some point, King Lothar is gonna go out, and he's going to, attack, like, gonna go to Anatolia, and have sex with some lady. I have no idea how he's gonna accomplish this. But by God, let neither storm, nor snow, nor mountain high, nor ocean low stop a man and his penis from finding true love. Also, apparently, there's this popular bishop or whatever. I don't know, he does godly stuff. That's his job. I don't know why we're supposed to thank him for doing his job. I mean, if a bishop can't be holy, then what's any hope for the rest of us? Anyways, here I have all this money. And instead of, like, doing useful things, like building things for my people, I'm going to build weapons of war. Because what kind of king doesn't have weapons of war? Obviously, I need, we have some wars that are in hilltops and mountaintops. And, you know, that might work pretty well for me. If I have some pikemen. However, I do want to actually have some pursuit. So maybe I want to get some horsemen. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll get some horsemen. I'll also get siege weapons, because something that in this particular war that has been brought to my attention is that we are not very good at sieging towns. And what secret has been exposed? Are you one of my potential enemies who is, like, literally months away from declaring war on me? No, you're not. Also, I wouldn't even arrest you anyways. It's just because in Catholicism, only the women are actually arrested. But anyway, should probably make a good ransom. Also, 2 months. Well, this is going to be a bit of a problem. Anyways, I can send it at any time, apparently. But that's fine. I mean, it's totally fine. I have $200. I could probably hire some mercs if I need to. Let it be known that the King of Lotharingia has some deep pockets, and that some loathsome rebels... Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Said loathsome rebels have decided to declare independence. And that's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But, you can try. And try you will, because the Lord knows you have a much larger army than I do. But on the bright side, I won't go down without a fight. And I do plan on hiring this mercenary company, who will help me in crushing some of these lower provinces. And perhaps I shall soon end this war with Lotharingia, and in so doing, crush my brother, take all of his land, like the good Carolingian that I am. Oh, how's it going? Oh, I'm losing. That mercenary squad is getting wrecked. That's fine, we're inflicting some casualties. Again, once I'm finished down here, I plan on making looks like my lover got pregnant again. But, I already have a history with her, so I think everyone knows that I'm sleeping with her. So it's just fine, It's totally fine. I probably lost this fight, but I have inflicted some casualties. Prince Hughes, who's my firstborn bastard son, comes of age, and he is actually... he's a reasonable knight. Possibly. But he's probably not one. It looks like my war with Lotharingia needs to be put on hold for a bit. Because of my rebels. It's annoying, but you do what you gotta do, sometimes you gotta just go in there, curb stomp a bunch of evil people. Not pleasant, but it is what it is. And hopefully this won't be an episode ended in failure as a bunch of my land breaks away. That would be super irritating. Oh my god, I'm also at war with Bavaria. This explains some things. Did you, Okay, hold on. We need to do something about this. Okay. Hold on. Hold the phone. Why won't you accept? I have too many existing alliances. Also, there's something you need to know, is that I don't need to actually... I don't actually need to, spend prestige for a defensive war, because defensive pacts are obviously more important than measly attacking, measly alliances of aggression. So us honorable folk, we take the time we need to actually fight properly, to actually defend our allies in order to make things go along more smoothly. Now I'm disbanding my military so that I can raise them all with all of my levies. It is important that I do, so that I can have my entire benefit, including the siege engines, just something that I desperately need to have working for me. Otherwise, I'm going to be in trouble. So, we're going to keep running with that. And something that I may need to do is consider bringing my mercs up north, or bringing these guys down south. Once I knock these two out of the war, I might be able to make this easier for myself. I don't know if I'm going to get ticking war score from them sieging my land. But I need to make sure that I knock out as many of their own territories as possible. Otherwise, I'm going to be in some deep shit. Well, you know what else I can do? I might need to march north and start trying to knock these armies. Oh, look, is he not in the war against me anymore? Is that how that works? Once you subjugate their territory, they get knocked out? I mean, that'd be pretty cool, but seems a bit arbitrary. You know, I'm not going to complain about it. I am going to march north now, because it is time to start taking back what is rightfully mine. And meanwhile, hope that the Lotharingians don't siege back too much of their territory, so that I can still win the war that I started. Frankly, how dare these northern Dutchmen actually do this to me? It's very annoying, and I wish for them to stop. They are running, which sort of implies their fear and terror. And I do understand this, I do. I'm a very intimidating foe, to be sure. Or make sure that they don't get there ahead of my main forces. We have a few good advantages. And we are going to have a much bigger army than them. Which means we are going to win this fight. And these rebel scum shall be routed. Their widows will weep. And their leaders shall know the bite of my personal sword. Yes, it shall be a glorious day. Us murdering them indiscriminately. Them surrendering at every opportunity. It's going to be great, I promise. I promise. Meanwhile, you are going to stay there and begin the siege. I have some high hopes for success here. These rebels will be put down. And I will be victorious. As is my birthright, frankly. I am better than all of you peasants. All of you lesser nobles. And that is a self-evident truth, really. Self-evident. Apparently, you don't like me, but that's fine, because you're going to make a really good spy master. I'm going to take all this territory. It's going to be great. I'm going to also speed things up a bit, because we're just standing around sieging at this point, so. Am I befriending you? Yes, I am. Because you didn't go to war with me. You became loyal! Oh, you wondrous man. My swaying did work. I did save myself that headache. Isn't that wonderful? The more we besiege these men, the easier it will be to make them capitulate. And that's what we want. It looks like we are going to be able to win this independence war. That seems good enough for me. Yep, we are sieging them down. This is going well. This is going quite well. The AI is struggling, trying to figure out what the heck is going on. That's fine. They don't really need to know. They're not that important, you understand. They're just not that important. Oh, looks like our allies lost a battle. That's fine. We siege faster, so we're going to take this before they can even get halfway, which means I'll be able to take it back much easier. Do I? I guess I can make them hate each other, and I can do that, but do I really want to do that? Yeah, I do. I do. More chaos among my court. Make them hate each other more. You know of my relationship with Duchess Serbia, who's in jail. Sure, I can get a weak hook. That's fine. From some guy in Anatolia. What are they going to do? Ooh. A bishop. A bishop went... Oh. A bishop was caught cheating. If not the bishops, then who? If they are not above sin, then how are we, mere servants of the Lord, able to find solace in their confession, in our confession to them? If we can't trust them, who can we trust? Who can we trust? Anyway, she's going to prison and he gets off scot-free because that's how this works. We live in the Middle Ages. Also, I win. And what do I get for winning? I get to imprison all of them. I get, like, bonuses for winning. And they all fear me. Because I crushed them. And they're all in prison now. Is cousin Irene my child? He's gonna learn my secret. No, I'm not gonna tell them that I have a secret love child. That's absurd. Why would I do that? This game makes me mad sometimes. I don't understand. Am I supposed to understand? Does this make sense to you guys? Did that make any sense to you guys? I need to hire more mercs because I need to replenish my forces because my war with Italy has been put off for a bit because of these stupid rebels, and I need to assign a new marshal. But it's not going to be you because you're a disloyal and maimed individual, and you suck. Maybe make... Oh, how much do I care about your opinion of me? I care enough. Here, you could be on the council. You're kind of amusing. Vassals who want to join factions, but cannot join factions because they're all in prison. Which is where they rightfully belong, I dare say. And now they're gonna just slam into my army at multiple levels. Someone's plotting to kill my cousin! Oh no. That's a shame. That's a real shame. We're gonna slow this down a bit because now we're getting actually... Oh! And the war is over! King Lotharin holds a blade aloft at the throat of his younger and lesser brother. So lesser that he even puts it in his name, the younger. Yes, he knows his place, and now he knows his place even more, because I just took his crown right off of his loathsome skull. At the point of a blade. Yes. You are mine now, Italy. And Lotharingia, the Middle Kingdom, is stronger for it. Because we have grown twice our size. Which means I'm probably going to have some real issues with all these vassals. Who all will hate me. Here's the thing. I don't actually want this guy to have any power in Italy. Which means what I want to do is make sure someone else has the Duchy of Lombardy. So, someone who might like me more. Because then I can sort of shunt him off to the side a bit. Wouldn't that be nice? I assume they now have a massive independence faction. Which is fine. I mean, of course it's fine. I don't really care. Well, I think that's going to be a good place to call it. What with the whole winning a war and slaying Italy. I think that's going to be a good place for my first ever Let's Play session to end. It's been fun with you guys. It's been fun. I've had a good time talking with you. And I hope that once more and more people trickle in and discover this channel, we can have more fun together. Thank you, and howdy do.